Good evening, everybody. My name is Ryan Depew, and I'm the Senior Director of Undergraduate Admissions here at Iona College, and I am thrilled to welcome you to tonight's chat, our final chat before the admission deadlines that are approaching later on in December. It has been a busy month here in admissions at Iona. Before we had Thanksgiving, we had our largest open house we ever had here at the college on campus. We had over 1,500 people join us for that event. It was a fantastic event. And then we rolled into Thanksgiving, and now it's time for deadline season. And I know a lot of students have questions, as many of them reached out to me already. Folks, just so we all know, we have two deadlines approaching this month. The first one is tomorrow. That is our early decision deadline. Students who apply early decision, they are bound to attend Iona if they are admitted to the class, and students will be notified in mid-December on December 15th if they are admitted. We also have our December 15th early action deadline. Early action is non-binding, and students who are admitted early action will find out in mid-January, as we'll be posting those USPS January 15th. But most importantly, we have tonight, and we also have our virtual open house coming up on December 12th. So we're incredibly busy. We're so excited. Things are just going like crazy here on campus. So we're just so excited to work with everybody. And I see that everybody is jumping into the room. But tonight, we're here for you. We're here to answer your questions. I wanted to give you unhindered access to 3 of our students so we can bring our students into the room. There we go. We had a little background noise from my eating hot ones with Dean Quintong in the background. But we have 3 students here tonight. We're here to answer any and all of your questions. I have 2 freshmen and a junior with us. But before we get into the conversation, I see a lot of questions already coming in. Let's just take an opportunity to introduce ourselves so we all know who's in the room. Firstly, my name is Ryan Depew. I'm the Senior Director of Undergrad Admissions here at Iona College. I have 3 emojis. I'll tell you what they mean. First and foremost, basketball. Iona is a huge basketball school. On Thanksgiving Day, we took down Alabama, number 10 in the AP rankings. First time a MAC conference team took down an AP top 10 school in history. So we were the only ones at 119 games. So basketball, pizza, because I like to eat, as you may have noticed in the videos beforehand. And then finally, the Christmas tree, because there's no place like New York during Christmas time. Abby, if you would take an opportunity to introduce yourself and also explain your emojis for who you are.
Sure. So my name's Abby. I'm a sophomore. So my emoji. So I have the little hand emoji because I'm a part of the American Sign Language Club. I have the speaking emoji because I'm a speech and language pathology major. And I have those 2 girls because I'm a part of one of our local sororities.
Great. Thank you. Ava.
My name is Ava. I'm a freshman at Iona. So my first emoji is the dancing emoji because I've been dancing for the past 14 years. The next emoji is a paw print emoji because I love animals and I have a dog of my own. And my next emoji is a hospital because I'm a nursing major and my goal is to work in a hospital someday.
Great. And Brendan.
Hey guys, I'm Brendan. I'm a junior, and my 3 emojis, essentially, the first one, I am a part of the Iona players. We actually just did the Adams family. I played Gomez Adams. The horse emoji because my middle name's Maverick, and who doesn't love a Maverick? And a camera because I do intend to become an actor. Currently, my major is business administration and hopefully a minor in film.
Great. Well, everybody, thank you so much for introducing yourselves. I noticed that people are currently putting their questions into the chat. Folks, I'm excited you're here. Looks like you all have it. If you have a question for our students or for me, I'm happy to answer any application or college-related questions. And for our students, they're here in the room today to answer questions about their experience. And tonight, we want to really make sure that we have the opportunity to talk about what it's like for our students to make their decision about where they're going during COVID. I know that Ava, Brendan, and Abby are all in those cohort years that happen to come in during the pandemic. So I believe their experience might be a little helpful for you as we go through the process. First and foremost, I see that the admission timelines have been asked about quite frequently. So just to share, we have 2 deadlines that are approaching. We have early decision, which is tomorrow. Early decision is binding. Students will be receiving their decisions December 15th. We have our early action deadline, which is non-binding, the most popular route into the Iona College. That deadline is December 15th. Students will be notified on or before January 15th. We also notify our students Postal Service, USPS. That's important to know. We don't use the portal. I want to send you a big, beautiful packet that you can like tear open and like be like, "Ma, I'm the smartest person in the world." And you can hang it on your fridge and you have a moment, right? You can't do that with an email. I know Ava, Brendan, and Abby, all of you have received the package, and it's a feeling, and I want everybody to have that. So that's when you should expect to hear back on your decision. But Abby, let's dive right in. Amanda asked, do students bring cars to campus? And if so, when can you?
So you can have a car on campus as a junior or senior, and obviously all commuters can have them. But as freshman and sophomore, you are unfortunately not allowed to have them on campus.
Okay, thank you so much. I had a couple of questions regarding the vaccine policy here at Iona College. So one thing that's important to note is vaccines are not mandatory for students presently here on campus. Our vaccination rate is incredibly high. It's in the 90%. However, we're not requiring of students, faculty, or staff. For students and faculty and staff who are opting out of the vaccine, they do have to be tested regularly. And there's a $500 charge for a student's account for those students as well. So they can test here at our centers, and it's $500 per semester for that testing methodology. Let's talk about nursing. Ava, I know you're a freshman in the nursing program. We were talking about it the other night. Let's talk about, I had a question coming in from guests. Can you talk about entry into your nursing program? Is it direct entry or do you apply junior year? So firstly, it is a direct entry nursing program. Ava is one of the freshmen in the program. But can you talk about what your experience has been like so far in your freshman year?
So currently I'm taking all of the prerequisites for nursing that you take over the first 2 years at Iona. So that includes chemistry, microbiology, anatomy and physiology 1 and 2, and developmental psych. So currently I'm in chemistry, and then I will be admitted into the nursing program the end of my sophomore year. But overall, I'm really enjoying the experience.
Awesome. And just to reiterate to everybody who's watching, we have several routes to Bachelor of Science in Nursing. We have a direct entry freshman program for students who are admitted as freshmen. They don't have to take the TEAS evaluation to persist in program. All they have to do is take the prerequisite courses required for the didactic portion of the nursing program, which is your clinicals, and just be successful in those courses in order to progress. And that's ultimately what we ask of students. I had a couple questions coming in regarding dorms and residential rooms. So I know Abby and Ava, you both are in your dorms. Abby, can you kind of tell us what residence hall you're in? Explain it a little bit, and maybe just do a quick pan of your room to show everybody what we got here.
Yeah, so I live in Canese, and Canese and Hales are pretty much the same, but I live in a suite of 9 girls, and we have 2 bathrooms, a common area, and a kitchen. And I'll just do a little, so we have the bed, another bed, my desk. I don't know if you can really see, but yeah. Also, if you want to take a virtual tour of Loftus, a little fun fact, it's my room from freshman year that's on the website.
Oh, that's a great fun fact. Ava, what residence hall are you in?
I'm in Loftus Hall, which is the dorm building with the majority of the freshmen.
Cool. We can see a good pan of your room. You want to just do a quick pan and show everybody what it's like?
Sure. So this is my side of the room. So I have my bed, my pillows, and then we have some lights hung up, and then this is my roommate's side of the room. And then we also, my suite mates are in the other room, but we all share a bathroom and a sink and a little hallway out front.
Great. Abby, I'm going to go to you real quick because oftentimes we talk residential rooms. Students also want to know, how do you pick your roommate? How does that magic happen? Can you pick your own roommate? So you can talk with students about how you can go through that process as an incoming freshman.
Yeah, so you can pick your roommate if you meet them through social media or any of the open houses or anything like that. You can also go random, and they make you fill out a survey, just asking what time you like to go to bed, all those things. I went random my freshman year, and my roommate is one of my best friends. It worked out really well for me.
Oh, okay, perfect. And, Brendan, I want to go over to the flip side of that. So you're a commuter here at Iona College, right?
Yes.
So what's commuter life like? Do you feel like you're included in the community? Does Iona do a good job of making you feel like you're a part of our culture here?
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes you can't even tell the difference between a commuter and a resident. Me personally, I'm on campus more than I'm home. It's so easy to get involved, and Iona does a great job in involving both commuters and residents into really the same programs.
Sure, sure. I know one thing that we do here that's very unique is we have something called activity hour. Abby, can you just take a moment to tell us, like, when I got to Iona, I was like, what is activity hour? What they do? What are we doing? Legos? Like, what's happening? Can you tell us a little bit about what activity hour is and how it helps students get involved here on campus?
Yeah, so activity hour, we have it every day from 12 to 1. So that's a time when no classes are held, and a lot of clubs will meet during that time. And it's just a great break in your day, and it gives you the chance to get involved.
Great, great, great. I had a question coming from Kayla. She goes, how do I turn an application without teacher recommendation? So we do require 2 letters of recommendation for students. When you get to the Common App page, you just put in your recommender's contact, and it just forwards the request to the appropriate party. Once that happens, you can submit your application without the actual recommendation being returned. Remember, you can submit your application at any point. I don't need your high school transcripts or your test scores if you want to utilize those at this time. My staff or myself, we can collect those things after your application has been received. That's important to remember. I had a question coming from Sophia. MBA in 5 years. Yes, you can do the MBA in a 5-year total. That'll be a 4-year undergraduate stint, and you receive your bachelor's in a program of study. And then you can do your MBA in 1 year after that if you were so inclined to do so here at Iona College. Jennifer asked, does Iona offer study abroad programs for education majors? So I know all 3 of you are relatively new to Iona, and you came here during the pandemic. Does anybody plan on doing a study abroad trip at some point? They're like, I don't know. We haven't had the conversation with mom and dad yet. So, I put it out to the audience. I know that we're freshmen and sophomores in this particular show. That said, we have a robust study abroad program for every major here at the college. You can do a typical semester long, so a spring or a fall. You can do an alternative semester, so you can do winter intersession, you can do summer intersession, and you can also do like an alternative spring break. And that's also offered all 4 years. So if you're a freshman here and we're offering study abroad next year and you want to take the opportunity to go to maybe Dingle, Ireland, or one of our destinations, you'd be able to do that for an abbreviated time, freshman year, just to kind of dip your toe into the pool. And then if you really like the abroad experience, you can do a full semester long later on if you were so inclined to do so. Oh, and Brendan, you're thinking about doing some study abroad. Tell me about it.
Yes, so actually, me and my friends were talking about joining the study abroad program to go to England. I believe it's next semester, and they've already started meetings for it and stuff like that over Zoom during campus hours and activity hour.
Great, great. A couple more questions regarding when will students find out their admission decisions? I know that everybody's on pins and needles right now. Just remember, we have 2 deadlines coming up this month. Early decision is tomorrow. Students who apply ED will have their admission decision released on the 15th of December. Students who apply early action, which is non-binding, will have their admission decision released January 15th, respectively. If you haven't already applied, we want you to, because we're doing some great things here at Iona College. Remember to use our application fee waiver of Iona 26. We got innovative with that name, that title, that fee waiver code. We want to make sure it was something that you didn't forget. So it's Iona 26, which will be your graduating year if you are incoming first-time freshman. Alyssa asked, when will the in-person open houses occur? So Alyssa, unfortunately, we had both of our in-person open house events for the fall already. However, we have a virtual open house coming up on the 12th of December. Join us. And even if you've been to campus for the open houses in person, join us for the virtual event, because it's going to be such a unique and distinct experience to really connect with faculty and other offices on campus in a unique way. So join us for that event if you're interested. Let's talk about, what does volunteer work look like here at Iona College? So I know that you all are very busy, but Abby, you're in a Greek life organization. Now, a lot of people don't automatically make that connection between service and Greek life, but can you talk about that connection and talk about ways that you've been involved and really community service over your time here at Iona?
Yeah, so I'm actually in one of our local sororities, and the good thing about a local sorority is we can pick our own philanthropies. So we can, if someone has a specific thing that they want to fundraise for, we can do that. Tomorrow we're actually doing a blood drive, so that's exciting. But if you want to get involved with service, Greek life is a great way to do that.
Great. Talking about some other programs, honors program. Abby and Ava, I know you're both in the honors program, but you're in different years. So, Abby, I'll start with you. Can you talk a little bit about what happens in the honors program? What's it like? Is it like honors in high school? Can you dissect that for our students today?
Yes. So, as a freshman and sophomore, you take an honors course and you read a bunch of really awesome books and you do presentations on them. And then as a junior and senior, you work on your thesis, and you can pick pretty much anything you want to talk about and do tons of research. Another great thing is as a freshman, you do have the opportunity to live on the honors floor of Loftus. I live there, and I don't know if Ava lives there now, but it's a great way to meet friends in the honors program, and you'll probably have a lot of classes with those people, so that's also great.
Ava, as a first year student in the honors program, is it like exclusively students from one major? Is it students from different majors? Can you talk about that a little bit?
So it's a people with a bunch of different majors are in the honors program. For example, I'm a nursing major. My roommate is an education major. My suite mates are both speech pathology majors. There's people who are doing finance. So the honors program is very inclusive, and it really allows any major to get involved. And it's really a great experience, especially living on the same floor with a bunch of other honors kids. I think I've met some of my closest friends on the honors floor.
Great. Brendan, I'm going to go to you for a moment regarding life as a commuter. I had a question that came in regarding parking on campus. Can you talk about, can commuters have cars? Is there available parking on campus? Can you unpack that a little bit for our viewers today?
Yeah, so Iona's campus actually has 3 parking lots. And we actually, one of those is a parking garage. It's almost like it's nearly like impossible not to have a spot. You always have a spot. There's a 3-floor parking garage, a parking lot next to it's our Columbus parking lot, and then we have a parking lot right behind Murphy. So yes, you can have a car. All you have to do is go to the La Penta Student Union, to the Commuter Life office. You get a parking pass that just essentially says the make and model of your car, and you're all set.
Great. Abby, I had a great question to come in, and maybe I'll kind of throw it to Ava and Brendan afterwards. But I had a question come in from a guest. How is the community at Iona? What is the community to you? How do you feel as a member of our community?
Honestly, the moment I stepped foot on this campus, I just felt extremely welcomed. Everyone is just so nice and inclusive. I actually took a tour here before, when I was choosing colleges, and my tour guide is now one of my good friends here. So that kind of goes to show how close everyone is here, and I really love that.
Okay, great. I think I want to open up to all 3 of you, just because I view our community from where I sit, but certainly I think the students want to see it from your eyes. So if you had to describe our community in maybe not one word, but a few words, how would you describe our community? And Brendan, I'll start with you.
I'm gonna say not cliquey. Everybody knows you.
I love it. Ava?
I'm gonna say innovative, because I think you meet so many different people and everyone is so creative in their own way, and I think Iona has so many cool features to offer. It's for everyone.
Sure. And Abby, just because I want you to be a part of this too, I mean, if you could think of a word, what would the word be?
I would say tight-knit.
Very nice. And just because I want to participate as well, it's our show here. I'll jump in. I would say familial. I think that, one of the best traits about who we are is that we really take care of each other just like a family does. And I think that's really ultimately evidenced by how we've navigated COVID for the past 2 years here on campus. That said, Ava, I want to go to you briefly. Can you talk about what is student life here like, even during the times of COVID? There are things going on in the weekdays. What do your weekends look like? Can you talk about that a little bit for our students?
I think that even with COVID, there's so many ways to get involved, and especially as a freshman, I definitely felt acclimated to the campus, and upperclassmen definitely sort of urged me to get involved, and because of that, I joined the Iona Players. I plan on rushing for a sorority in the spring semester. I joined Gale Guides. I'm currently training to be a Gale Guide, but there's I don't really feel any limitations with COVID. But overall, I think it's very easy for anyone to get involved into anything that they want to get involved in.
Sure, sure. Let's do another round in the room. And we'll start with Abby. Like, what is everybody's favorite thing that they've done so far this semester outside of the classroom? Fire away. Start with Abby.
I would say the Gale Gates
Yes.
basketball games. They're so much fun, and they're a great way to get everyone excited about basketball season.
Cool. What about you, Ava?
I would probably say either we had a variety show a few weeks ago, and seeing some of my peers perform in that, and also seeing my peers and even my sister perform in our production of The Addams Family in the fall. It was really a good experience.
Love it. Brendan?
I'm gonna have to go kind of with the same answer as Ava. Being able to perform The Addams Family, it was one of the first shows coming out of COVID, and it was such a surreal experience to see everybody's faces, that overjoyed feeling.
Sure. And to agree with you both, Ava, Brendan, you both did fantastic in the Addams Family Addams Family show that we did. And then just to unpack the Galegate that Abby said, that's my other favorite thing. We do a tailgate for every home game in basketball here, where we take over our Mazzella Field. We have food, we have games, we have alumni out. It's a really, really fun experience in the tailgate. So we do that every home game. We have one coming up this Friday, so we're very excited, especially because the men beat Alabama, of course. So moving on. We talked about the community. Sophia asks, what are some of the most fun clubs to join? I have a sense we're going to be a little biased here, but let's let's go with it anyway. Abby, what do you think? What do you think are some of the more popular clubs that you see a lot of your friends joining here on campus, aside from the Gale Guides, the premier organization on campus?
Of course, Gale Guides, definitely one of my favorites. But I'm a part of the ASL club. I really love it. A lot of people joined it this year. It's so much fun. I've learned so much through it. And yeah.
Okay. Anybody else want to jump in? Brendan, what do you think you see a lot of your friends getting involved in?
The Iona Players. It's one of the most interactive clubs, in my opinion. I'm completely biased. One of the most interactive clubs that you can be a part of. You don't have to have any kind of experience, and you're just welcomed with like open arms.
Great. And for all of you who might have some performing arts experience, whether it be on stage, vocal, instrumental, we're always looking for students to participate in our performing arts program. Stay tuned. Keep an eye on your inbox, because after you apply, you're going to start hearing from Kelly Byer, who's our director of performing arts here at the college. Ava, I had a really great question come in from Janice. She asked, what's it like to be a first-year student at Iona? So I'd like you to maybe answer it, not just as a first-year student, but also what's it like to be a first-year nursing student here at the college? You're taking some really challenging coursework. Like, what's that balance like?
I would say in the beginning, I think the freshman orientation really helped me to get to know people. And I think that kind of broke the ice with kind of coming in a little nervous, but freshman orientation really helped you to get to know people. And as far as the balance between schoolwork and joining campus events and being a part of clubs, Iona has so many resources to help you if you are struggling. We have free tutoring. There's so many resources and people available to make sure that you succeed, and also incorporate in your version of the college experience. So my freshman experience has really been positive, and I'm very grateful for everyone who's kind of encouraged me along the way.
Cool. Thank you so much for contributing. Folks, we're 25 minutes into the chat so far. Keep your questions going. This has been so much fun. I see a couple questions coming up regarding the application. Firstly, there's questions regarding the SAT or ACT. So first and foremost, we are a test optional institution across the board for all academic majors. So I'm giving you, the students, the power to choose whether or not you'd like to submit your scores. Submitting or not submitting your SAT scores will not change your admission. It will not change your merit-based aid, and it certainly won't change your opportunity to join programs like our honors program here at the college. Furthermore, we had a few questions coming in about how can you apply to the college. So Iona is a Common App exclusive institution. So if you're interested in completing your application to Iona, please make sure that you utilize the common application, and you can also use our fee waiver code, which is Iona26, to save yourself the $50. Sophia asks, I know the school is very big. What's it like getting around or moving from class to class? So Brendan, like, what's it like? Is it hard to get around campus? Like, do you need a golf cart to get around? Like, is there a bus? How big is campus? How long does it take you to walk around?
Honestly, it doesn't take me that long. La Penta, which is in our back, the back of our campus, La Penta School of Business. It's pretty much our farthest building from campus, and it doesn't take me long at all to get to the Murphy Center, which is like across the street. It takes me maybe about like 5 to 8 minutes to get from one building to the other. It's really not like, don't stress. At first, you're probably gonna be like, where is everything? But as soon as you like get the swing of things, it's really like you really don't notice.
Great, great. Abby, talking about the size of the school, like when you get into the classroom, like what would you expect for an average class size here at the college? Like, what does it feel like to be a member of our class?
We have an average class size of about 25. And honestly, hardly any of my classes have that many people, especially my major classes. The biggest class I think I've had is like my general bio class, and that was probably in the 30s. So that's not even bad. You'll definitely get to know your professors very well, which I really like. And you're not just a number in a class, like at some bigger schools. I definitely like that. You get to know your professors very well. Yeah.
And Ava, just to follow up on that, I know a lot of students, especially the past couple of years, because COVID has been so tough for so many students. What's it like creating a relationship with your faculty? Do you feel like you have access to them? What's that relationship like in that small classroom environment for you?
I would say that because we do have a 14-to-1 student to teacher ratio, it's very teacher your professors are very resourceful, and it's also very easy to reach out for them. They make their office hours readily available, and they're super accommodating to your schedule if you need a different time to meet with them, and they're also always there to help you. And I do want to point out the Rudin Tutoring Center, which is free tutoring from the top 5% of students at Iona. So that gives you the opportunity to kind of learn from your peers in a different perspective. But overall, the faculty and fellow students and peers is just super accommodating and resourceful.
Great, great. Brendan, what I want to do is I want to go over to you. I had a question that came in regarding, like, what do you do when you're not in class? So like, what is your day? What does your weekday look like here at Iona College? Just a regular random Tuesday.
Sure. So a regular random Tuesday, during like 9 o'clock to 11:52, I'm in classes. Once I'm done with classes, I usually go to Vitanza Commons. That's where I get my meals, which accommodate for everyone. I have friends who are vegetarians and vegans. They have like everything to accommodate for them. And then I'm done with my day after that. And usually, if I want to stay on campus, I usually go to the Ryan Library, and I'm there in the Harry Potter room. It's a beautiful room. It's super quiet. I'm able to just focus on my work and focus on like work ahead of, a club activity or event.
Great, great. And Abby, I have so many students who always ask, like, what do weekends look like? So we understand what the weekdays look like, but like, what do you see students doing here on the weekends? How are students getting involved? What's it feel like here on campus? Would you classify us as a suitcase school?
No, I mean, I've gone home once this semester, so I really have so much fun on the weekends. There's so much to do. We have New Rock City, which is like 5 minutes down the road, and there's a bowling alley, a movie theater. We also are super close to the city, and it's super easy to get there. We have a Gale shuttle that will take you right to the Metro North station, which is like 5 minutes down the road. There's also tons of activities going on campus. There's games, movie nights, stuff like that. So I've never really been bored on campus during the weekends, which is really nice.
Great, great. And Abby, talk to me a little bit about Greek life. I know we have several fraternities and sororities here on campus. Some are national, some are local. Can you kind of talk about that and unpack that a little bit for students here tonight? Do you have to be a part of Greek life to have like a social connections here, or is it just something else you could do if you wanted to?
Yeah, so we have 6 sororities, 4 fraternities. some are national, some are local. So like I said before, local means they're only found at Iona. National, there are other chapters at other schools. But if you aren't involved in Greek life, there's over 80 clubs you can join. So if, like I said, you'll still be very involved. So there's other opportunities besides Greek life, but I really enjoy Greek life. I'm super happy I joined a sorority. I've made so many friends through it, and yeah.
Sure, sure. I had a really great question coming from Sophia. Sophia, thank you for asking great questions tonight. She's asking about diversity on campus. One thing I can say, from the macro level is we have an incredibly diverse campus. I mean, our campus is exceptionally representative of many cultures, locations, socioeconomic classes across the entire nation. We're pulling students from 36 different states and 24 different countries here on campus. But from the student perspective, Brendan, like what's it look like? What's it feel like for you? Would you say that we're a diverse campus? Do you feel like we're an inclusive campus? Fire away.
Yeah, I feel like honestly, when I was touring around for different colleges, Iona was one of the ones that stuck out in terms of diversity. I'm from the South Bronx, so I'm really used to diversity, and I'm not really into like a lot of new things and new environments. But Iona was such a diverse campus. Like walking on during the open house, from my tour guides and my tour guides, the people that I worked with, the administration, like there's just so much diversity on campus. Even in my classes, I have some classmates from Nigeria, and I have another classmate from Kentucky. So there's just so many different diverse nationalities and ethnicities there. And honestly, I've even picked up another language. Like it's honestly really beautiful. Like you get to learn so much culturally.
Great, great. Abby, I'm going to go to you. Abby, can you read me? I know you're having some like tech problems.
Yeah.
Back. Can you read me loud and clear?
Yes.
Abby, I have a question just for you regarding speech pathology. So, can you talk about speech path? Maybe some of the reasons why you ultimately chose Iona for your major, and some of the things that you're doing in the program right now. So, I know I asked a lot of things, but can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing and what speech path does here at Iona?
Yeah, so well, first of all, I chose Iona because of the speech pathology. Well, one of the reasons I did was because of the speech pathology program here. You have the opportunity to have a workload at a clinic, an actual clinic that's on campus, which is really cool. Also, I'm still kind of in the beginning stages of my classes, but so far I really enjoy them. The professors are so helpful, and they know what they're doing, and they're just super cool. And so far I'm really enjoying it.
Great, great. Brendan, I'm going to go over you for a minute. I had a question from a guest regarding being undecided. From where I sit, I've been in higher ed for far longer than I care to admit, really, a decade and change. And I know so many students are going through a process of either changing their mind or refining their mind. It's a very dynamic process. And I know that resonates a little bit with you because you came into Iona not knowing exactly what you want to do. So can you talk a little bit about like how we support especially our first year students through the process of possibly finding that major that's a fit for them?
Yeah, so Iona was really resourceful in terms of the advisement center. We have an advisement center on campus, and my advisor is honestly like one of the most supportive people that I've spoken to on campus in terms of helping me decide my major. I came in here with like 4 different majors, like trying to pick which one I wanted to do. And she like sat me down. There came a point where she literally sat me down and she said, listen, you got this. You'll be fine. Here are the classes that you are going to have to take if you want this major, and this major. You got this. There's no stress. She really like stopped me from overwhelming myself. And that was honestly like just another reason why I chose Iona.
Sure, sure. I had a question regarding where we are geographically. So we're here in New Rochelle, New York. A question regarding like how far we are out of the Bronx and also New York. I'm 4 stops out of Midtown Manhattan. The stops are out of where we are in MTA would be Pelham, Fordham, 125th, and Grand Central. I think I nailed those right. So we're pretty close. I mean, depending on where you are coming from the Bronx, we could be as close as 20 minutes. Via car, or sometimes you need a packed lunch and a bottle of water. You never really know with New York traffic, right, Brennan? But
yeah, it really just depends the day.
Depends on the day. But also, while we're talking about geography, I do want to mention, we have the Metro North Railroad. We also have the Northeast line of Amtrak. So for all my students who are joining us tonight from Boston Metro, from DC Metro, or anywhere on the Eastern Seaboard, you have direct access. This is an Amtrak stop. You have direct access to Amtrak here that takes you down to Penn Station and obviously DC. We're also about 20 minutes away from White Plains Airport and about half an hour to 45 minutes on a good day from LaGuardia and also JFK. So we're fairly close to New York Metro airports here on campus. Let's talk a little bit. We had a bunch of roommate questions come back in. Abby, I'm going to toss it over to you. Talk to us about how do you choose your roommates? How did you choose your roommate?
So I actually went random. They make you fill out a survey and they ask you like what time you like to go to bed, what the room you like the room temperature to be, stuff like that. And they matched me really well. My roommate is one of my best friends here. We get along great, so they do a really great job of pairing you with someone that's a good match.
Great, folks. We are halfway through tonight's chat. This is beautiful. I know there's so many people. There's about 650 of us in the room right now, so let's keep the conversation going. But some people just joined us. I'm going to do a brief round the room of reintroductions. My name is Ryan, your host for tonight. I'm the Senior Director of Undergrad Admissions. And Abby, I'll go over to you, and then we'll just go clockwise.
Hi, everyone. My name's Abby. I'm a sophomore. I'm from Connecticut, and I'm a speech pathology major.
Ava.
My name is Ava, and I'm a freshman. I'm a nursing major, and I'm also in the honors program, and I'm also from Connecticut.
And Brendan.
My name is Brendan Martinez. I'm hopefully going to be a business administration major. I'm from the Bronx, and I am a junior.
Great, folks. We're getting so many questions coming in. I'm going to try my best to get to all of them tonight. But if we don't, please remember, we have our virtual open house coming up on December 12th, and we're going to be answering questions live on that date as well. So let's jump right in. Can you explain the esports club? Is anybody here in esports?
I have friends who are on the esports club.
Ava, take it away. Let's go.
So, as mentioned before, Iona is super inclusive and has basically has something for everyone. So if you're interested in video games, esports is definitely for you. They practice a few times a week and they compete in competitions and against other schools. And the actual room that they practice in is very cool. I think I've walked past it a few times.
It's across from Starbucks. So Ava, I believe that you probably walked past it more than a few times.
Oh,
But the room is awesome. And folks, we had over 100 students try out for esports. It blew my mind. We compete in several different leagues. We played in the MAC conference, but we play specific games. So there's specific teams for specific games. And then we have our core team. So if you're interested in esports, we certainly have a place for you in one of our programs here at Iona College. They literally practice nonstop every day of the week, different games, different competitions, playing Seton Hall and FIFA coming up this week. I just saw their Instagram post. It is on our Instagram, so feel free to follow it. I had a question regarding the dance team. So I know Ava and Brendan, you both are involved in the players. You may not kind of have too much interaction with the dance team just yet, but do we have opportunities for students to participate in dance performance here at Iona? And I'll toss it to Ava, just so we're not confused who's answering the question.
So as far as joining the dance team, I believe it is an audition process, similar to joining the spring musical or the fall musical or any of the plays. But as mentioned before, it is so easy to join clubs on campus because there really is something for everyone. And in the beginning of the year, I would say within the first 3 days of getting on campus, we had an involvement fair, and we were able to every club that the campus offers is set up in the gym, and then you just kind of walk around, give them your name and introduce yourselves, and you could sign up for any club that you want, and they definitely keep you involved by sending you emails and updates about the events that they're going to be offering.
Sure. And just to really, when we say performing arts, it sounds like it is a smaller entity, but I'm going to try my best to name every organization in performing arts. And if our director is watching tonight, I apologize if I miss anybody. But for dance, we have the dance team. We have a dance ensemble. We have an Irish step dance program that has some nationally renowned step dancers performing in that. We have our Iona players. We have our theater ensemble that works with the academic programs. We have our pep band. My gosh, I know I'm forgetting somebody here. We have a pipe band. That's who I'm forgetting. The Iona pipe band, which is the #1 pipe band in the New York City St. Patrick's Day Parade, which is a very big crown that we love to wear, right? I got 7 so far, and I a couple of vocal ensembles. Excuse me. So if you're a singer, we have several vocal ensembles. We have a cappella groups, liturgical choirs. So there really is a great way to get involved in if you're interested in the performing arts here at the college. And there is an auditions process. Keep your eyes open in your inbox for a message from Kelly Byer, our director of performing arts, that she'll be sharing some more information with students after the application has been received. Ava, let's talk a little bit about the honors program a little bit more. What's it like? What are you doing? Is it like honors in high school, or is it just, is it different? Can you talk a little about that for our students?
Sure. So in honors, in the honors class that I'm in, we talk about different readings, a bunch of different texts, and we analyze them using like critical thinking skills and abstract thinking. And it really gives you the opportunity to communicate with your peers on a higher level of understanding and talk about different opinions and different interpretations. And it's really just gives you the opportunity to incorporate critical thinking into your daily life. And then we do fun presentations, and it also helps with speaking and just kind of those kind of skills.
Sure. So just to jump into that a little deeper, the honors program for the first 2 years is an exploration of the depth and breadth of liberal arts. So you're studying the great works in Western civilization. It's a course. It's an honors section of a course that all students at Iona have to take as part of the liberal arts curriculum. As you move into your junior year, what's going to happen in the honors program, they start working with their honors advisor to create a thesis and do a research project that they actually could execute and conduct that research, and they present that research in their honors thesis in their senior year. So if I had to throw like a quick synopsis about the honors program, I think that would pretty much do it. So Brendan, I got a question. How much are parking passes here at Iona College?
Completely free. All you need is the make and model of your car, and you're all set.
Brendan, I got to say, I've been higher ed for a very long time. That's the only place in the world I've seen in higher education where the parking passes are free. They're free here for students. Remember, freshman year students, actually, I'll go to Abby. Abby, when can residents start bringing their cars to campus?
You can have your car on campus as a junior and senior.
So for your first 2 years, you don't have your car here on campus, but your last 2 years you can. Ava, I'm going to go to you real quick. Before you have your parking passes, before you have a car, is it easy to get around campus or the world?
Definitely. So we have the Gale Express, which basically brings you wherever you need to go. It could bring you to the train station. It could bring you to the movie theater, the bowling alley. As Abby mentioned before, it brings you basically wherever you need to go, and it's so easily accessible, and you don't even really need a car on campus to feel involved. There's so many things to get involved in right on campus.
Sure. Well, folks, we only have about 15 minutes left in the chat. Time is flying tonight. Let's do another lightning round, right, folks? I had a question come in. What makes Iona College different from the others from your perspective? And Abby, as a senior member of this panel tonight, I'm going to start off with you. Go ahead.
I would say how close-knit everyone is. Everyone kind of knows everyone, and I really love that.
Great. Ava?
I would say how inclusive and how innovative everyone here is, and even just seeing the nursing building, that really just made my decision for me.
Sure. And Brendan?
I would say that you're more than just a number. There's so many different places where like you're just a number for like professors don't know your name. Everywhere I go, everybody knows you. You find friends, you find professors that know you. You're more than just a number. Great.
And just to chime in this, one of the things I love most and I think that's really unique about us is our energy. Right now, we have some incredible momentum. Actually, student enrollment is up 32% since COVID began. More students than ever are opting to come to Iona. We've been expanding. We finished our La Penta Business School. That was a $38 million project. We wrapped that up in 2020. We did a renovation of our Hines Athletic Arena. All of our student recreation gyms have been upgraded and remodeled, right? We built a brand new nursing facility and lab for Ava and company. And then we also bought another campus as we created a relationship with one of the premier health organizations in the nation. New York Presbyterian partnered with us. They're already partnered with Cornell. They're already partnered with Columbia. We're one of their 3 partners. We've created the New York Presbyterian Iona School of Health Sciences, which will contain our nursing programs, speech pathology, occupational therapy, social work, and a variety of other graduate programs. We brought in Rick Pitino, arguably one of the greatest NCAA, I digress, one of the greatest basketball coaches that you could ever possibly have of all time. We brought him to campus. We also had the opportunity to finish up the Heinz Institute for Entrepreneurship and Innovation, and we just received an award as being one of the best entrepreneurship programs in the nation. So there's such incredible momentum here on campus that I find it to be really exciting, and I think a lot of our students really agree. There's a lot of, and we're doing Murphy Green. I totally forgot about that. Right outside one of our freshman dorms, we're building this brand new, beautiful green space. So if you come to campus, we apologize for our current construction, but we're really excited in spring 22 to have this brand new green space right in the middle of campus. So I just love the energy. I had a question coming about Bronxville. For those of you who don't know, we virtually doubled the size of our campus with the acquisition of what was formerly Concordia College. We've taken acquisition of that land, and it's now become our Bronxville campus. We're going to be slowly migrating there over the not too distant future. A student asked, what's it going to look like for students coming to Iona? So ultimately, Bronxville is going to be a seamless part of all of our students' experiences. Students will probably most in the near future use it in a co-curricular capacity. So we'll be practicing with the club sports teams over there. Our performing arts programs will be rehearsing over there because there's a conservatory. There's spaces for us to be at when it comes to the co-curricular realm. So a lot of students will be utilizing that property for those things first, and then over time we're going to continue to upgrade their facilities, and we're going to migrate certain programs over there for the Iona School of Healthcare or Health Sciences. So that's going to migrate over there in the not too distant future. But remember, students will always live here on campus. This is where your home's going to be. There just might be some classes or coursework over there, particularly for some nursing students and upper division and or graduate students. And of course, transportation will be provided. It's about 8 minutes door to door from here to there. So I had a lot of questions regarding that. As I look at the clock, we have about 15 more minutes. Oh, finally, students who are after my heart are asking about dining options. I'm so excited. I have pizza in one of my emojis for a reason. Let's do a lightning round. Let's shake this up, folks. I'm going to start with Brendan because I'm feeling crazy. Brendan, and for everybody, what's your favorite food on or off campus? Ready, go. Fire away.
Off campus, I go to Westchester Taco and I have myself a DIY mac and cheese with broccoli and grilled chicken. And for dessert, I have a brownie a la mode.
Boom. Ava.
Off campus, my favorite is Gemelli's. I get a vodka sauce on ravioli, and then for dessert, I'll get for dessert, I'll go to Westchester Taco and I'll get myself a churro. And then on campus, my favorite option is the acai bowls in the La Penta Student Union.
Boom. Abby.
Definitely a bacon, egg, and cheese from the Ave.
Ooh.
And the smoothies in La Penta.
Don't sleep on the bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich from the Ave. Mike, the guy who owns the Avenue Deli, when he learns your name, you've made it here at Iona College. He knows the dirt and everybody and everything. And also, Ava, if you haven't had the Nutella pizza over Ginelli's, you got to have it. I'm going to Brendan. Is there easy access to the city?
There is. You're actually 30 minutes away from everything. You're only 4 stops away from the city when you hit the Metro North. Public transportation is so easy, so simple on Iona. 30 minutes from everything.
Great. Evan asks, is there a scholarship for esports achievements? Unfortunately, we don't have any college-sponsored scholarship for esports, but if you receive one from an outside organization, that could be something that financially can consider as well. Is there going to be an acceptance students day in the spring? Many. So we love celebrating students' acceptance here on campus, so look in your inboxes for additional details regarding our acceptance students days. Let's talk a little bit about my gosh, a lot of questions. I had a few more questions coming in regarding commuters who park their cars on campus. Brendan, a lot of students want to know, like, how do you do it? Like, is there parking on campus? How much does it cost, etc.?
So everything is free. As I said before, you get a parking pass. All you need is your the make and model of your car, There's literally like you can find parking anywhere on campus. You don't even need to look for parking outside of campus. It's rare that you don't find parking, and it's super safe. We have 24/7 security, so you don't have to worry about like a carjack, like nothing. Like it is so safe, so secure, and you can literally find parking anywhere.
Ava, I'm going to go to you. So for on-campus dining, Chartwell's is our food service provider here. What about students who might find themselves or are looking for vegetarian options? Do we have vegetarian options here on campus? To go one step further, what about students who are gluten-free, et cetera? Like what options do we have for students who are like that?
Sure. So, as somebody who has a bunch of different food allergies, a nut allergy, allergic to a bunch of fruits, there's definitely a lot of options on campus, and that we actually have a vegan little food bar in Vitanza, and there's so many options for everybody. There's really something for everyone, especially with for people with dietary restrictions, certain food allergies. There's something for everyone.
Sure. And one thing I always think is just so unique about us, and I know we talked about some off-campus dining, but Iona has 19 restaurants that are on our meal plan that students can tap into. So we have our on-campus dining, which is our food service provider, Chartwell's, but then we have 19 restaurants right here locally in New Rochelle that really that can hit the spot for every craving you possibly have. We have the healthy eating over Rock Body. You can even eat pretty healthy at Waco if you were so inclined to do so. I suggest just going unhealthy. We have Karate's cheesesteaks. Don't sleep in the cheesesteaks. It's some of the best cheesesteaks I've ever had outside of Philadelphia. So there's so many options for students off campus as well as on campus. You definitely will not go hungry. Abby, speaking of students going hungry, not going hungry, what are some ways that students can get engaged physically? Is there like a recreation gym? Do you see students going to work out? Is that something that happens here on campus?
Yes, so we actually have a cardio room and a weight room for non-student athletes that's separate from the varsity weight room, which I really like because I would be pretty intimidated if I had to work out with a bunch of athletes. But it's open 7 days a week, and you just go and sign in, and it's super nice. They actually rotate the equipment out every 2 to 3 years, so it's always the most new and updated versions of everything.
Great. Thank you so much. I had a question coming in regarding scholarships at Iona. One thing I'll tell you to do is you're welcome to contact my office at any point, but you can also come out to our virtual open house that's on December 12th. We're going to have one-to-one consultations with our financial aid office. So if you're interested in learning more about financial aid and how we can help you, right, come to our virtual open house because we have one-to-one virtual consultations with my financial aid office because we understand that college is an investment, but we're going to try our very best to make it affordable for you and your family. Let's kind of go through and continue to take questions. Oh, I have a few more questions coming in regarding early action releases. So for everybody who's recently joining us, we have 2 deadlines coming up. The first one is tomorrow. Folks, be a part of the movement. Submit your applications. Tomorrow's our early action deadline, December 1st. Students who apply early action will have their notifications posted December 15th. Students who apply early action, will have their decisions posted USPS by January 15th. So there's great opportunities for you to find out literally within about a month and a half if you submit your application within the next 2 weeks. I definitely recommend doing it. And I even have a fee waiver code that I want to share with you. If you haven't applied yet, use the code IONA26 and you will save yourself $50 in the common application. That's how committed we are to making college education affordable, Brendan. We're going to make sure you have a fee waiver code to utilize. So if you have your application in by December 15th, you'll be notified by January 15th. And remember, folks, we notify USPS. So we don't do the email thing. You will receive an email notification a little bit later on, but I want to send you a package home for you and your family to review. There's going to be a lot of information in there regarding your academic program. There will be scholarship information that's contained within. There might be honors information contained within. There could be information regarding admission to a nursing program. And there's a lot to digest. So we're going to send you a big packet first, and then we'll follow up with much smaller digestible emails afterwards. My gosh, I just had a bunch of questions come in. I had a question regarding, does the bus pick you up from the train station back to the school, and is there certain hours? So, Ava, I'm going to go to you.
So I personally haven't taken the Gale Express, but my sister, who's a senior at Iona, she takes it all the time when she goes into the city, and I believe they can pick you up at pretty much all hours of the night, pretty late into the night, and it's super easily accessible. And you just you could call in advance to let them know where and when you want to be picked up, and they'll come right over.
Sure. Thank you so much. Abby, one question I want to go to you with is safety on campus. I think it's important to talk about safety, right? Like we all want to be someplace we feel safe, right? It's not quite as flashy as like the sushi, right? Or the meals off campus. But let's talk about campus safety. Do you feel like we have a safe climate here on campus? And what are some of the things that we do to ensure that it is safe for all students here on campus?
Yeah, so I feel as if it's a very safe campus. A couple things we have. So we have the blue light system, which I know a lot of schools have that, but it's literally a blue light, and they're all around campus. And if you ever felt unsafe, you could push it, and it would alert local authorities as well as campus authorities. Our campus authorities are also monitoring and the surrounding area as well as campus 24/7, and there's always someone at the front gate to monitor who comes in and out.
Sure. And, for the families I work with, oftentimes, one thing I always advise them to do, you can ask for something called the Clery Act number. So the Clery report, every college campus nationally is required by law to submit or share crime statistic information regarding the campus and surrounding area upon request. Oftentimes it can be found on a website, or they'll do a hard copy exchange. You can ask for those numbers. If you read our numbers, I think you'll find that we're a very safe campus. I always tell everybody I have 2 small children at home. If my wife would let us, which she never would because she thinks I work too much already, I would not hesitate to raise my family here on campus. I think it's that safe of an environment. The Gale guys, I love my kids because they're super cute. And we'll change the topic because that was too self-congratulatory. But nevertheless, can I stay at home and attend to college and go back to home? So I guess the student is asking, do you have to live here on campus for your first year? So Brendan, you want to take that question?
Yeah, sure. So no, you don't have to live on campus here. My very first semester being here, I was literally woke up, went to class, attended class, and then literally just went back home. I just laid down. There was really nothing much to do. And then I got more active. So you don't really have to join anything if you'd like, but Iona does a great job in, pushing you out of your comfort zone, allowing you to join as many clubs as possible. But if you just want to, attend class and come home, you can do that as well.
Sure. Ava, I had a couple questions coming in regarding the nursing program. So can you talk about what's it like to come into the nursing program? What you're doing in the nursing program right now, and then long-term, what's the nursing program look like for you?
Sure. So right now, for these first 2 years, your freshman and sophomore year, we basically we're taking our nursing prerequisites. So as mentioned before, that's chemistry, microbiology, anatomy and physiology 1 and 2, and developmental psychology. And then your junior year is when you really start your nursing clinicals, get into your nursing core, and then you kind of progressively move up to the nursing building, which is on campus. And when I went on the tour for that building, I was basically in awe for all that they had to offer. They had a skills lab, they had live simulations where you practice working on basically mannequins and patients and real life scenarios. And the school is also Iona is also affiliated with a bunch of local hospitals, so it really gives you the experience ahead of time and really the right resources to get you right into the nursing core.
Sure. And I know a lot of students oftentimes ask, where are we affiliated? So obviously New York Presbyterian is a partner of ours. They have 5,100 service providers in the New York metro area. So those would all be potential sites for not just our nursing students, but also for any student going into allied healthcare, right? So when you think about speech path, when you think about OT, when you think about all those other things, there's opportunities for students to be connected there. We also work with Montefiore Hospital, which is about 5 blocks away from campus. We work with White Plains Hospital, which is a nationally recognized hospital about 20 minutes away. There's Burke Rehabilitation. Burke Rehabilitation is also a nationally renowned rehabilitation center in White Plains. And there's also a New York Presbyterian mental health hospital in White Plains as well for possible clinical sites. So there's really a whole lot to select from, and what your clinicals will look like will depend entirely on what year you are in, and what you're doing in that part of the didactic portion of the program. There will be 7 clinical rotations in the last 2 years of your study here at the college. We got 2 minutes left, folks. But why don't we do around the room just to close it out before we talk about some logistical stuff. So why don't we, if you all could be so helpful and share your best piece of advice. You all came through this process in the past 2 years during the global pandemic. What's the best piece of advice you have for our students who are joining us today in regards to their process? And Abby, I'll kick it off with you.
Yeah, so I know choosing a college during a pandemic is definitely difficult. I graduated high school in 2020, so while we were all in quarantine, I was also trying to decide on college, and it was definitely stressful, so I completely understand where everyone is at. But my best piece of advice is to pick a school where you feel most comfortable. During quarantine, I was always being reached out to by Iona, just checking in, seeing if I had any questions, and that made me feel super welcomed, and it made me feel like it just really made me feel comfortable, and I really liked that, and that was, but I'm so glad that they had things like the virtual talks and the virtual open houses, because it made choosing Iona that much easier.
Sure. And Ava, what would be your best piece of advice?
My best piece of advice is to have an open mind and also not be afraid to reach out. I was unsure of a major I believe my junior year, because I was thinking about college a little bit early, but I reached out to one of the admissions counselors, and we really began to develop a relationship where I felt comfortable enough to reach out, and everyone here is super helpful, and everybody's willing to help even once you're here. They don't give up on you. They stick it out with you the entire time that you're here. So don't be afraid to reach out.
Great. Brendan.
The best piece of advice that I can give is just find some place that feels like home and some place that doesn't give you any limitations. That's what I felt here at Iona. I felt like there was no limit to what I can do, no limit to what I can achieve. And I'm someone that likes to live life with a sense of urgency. And Iona definitely makes me feel like, I'm living life to the fullest. I'm using as much time as I have.
Great. If I could chime in, folks, my best piece of advice through the process is utilize your resources. I know that the college process can be daunting in the best of years, not counting a pandemic year, but use your resources. Talk to your school counselor. My admissions counselors and team here, we're here to do nothing but help you through this process. You want to talk about different majors, you have questions about your application, reach out to them. I know that they text fairly regularly. I know that they email you very regularly. It's because we want to build a relationship with you, because that's what we are here at Iona College. And I would tell you to utilize that resource because it does help you through the process. So, folks, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Can we get a round of applause for our 3 students? I mean, you guys did an amazing job. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to work with our prospective students. So a brief round of applause for our students who are here tonight. Abby, Ava, and Brendan, thank you so much for joining us. Everybody else, I do want to take an opportunity to talk about a few last things. First and foremost, tomorrow is our early decision deadline. Please submit your application by tomorrow, before midnight, for your early application. Students who apply early decision will be notified of their admission decision prior to the holidays, as we're releasing December 15th. We also have early action coming up in a little bit more than 2 weeks. Early action's non-binding, so you don't have to come to Iona if you decide to apply early action. If you apply by December 15th, you'll have your admission decision delivered to you by January 15th. And don't forget, folks, we have a virtual open house coming up on December 12th. We'd love to have you join us. Even if you've been to campus, come by and join us for this unique experience. I promise it will be a whole lot of fun. Other than that, folks, thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Ryan Depew, and I hope to see you on campus soon. Take care. Bye-bye.